Hey, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate your support. If you get a chance, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel as we grow. Thank you for checking this out. Hope you're having a great day. We have some more controversy around Christian Pulisic. As you know, I did a video the other day or last week about Christian Pulisic's controversial decision to not be in camp right now because he needs a break. We broke down, some of the other players around the world who have played a lot more minutes than Pulisic for their club team that are in their camps and so forth. And now we have some more fallout from that. And U.S. soccer has gotten really messy. We've talked about, parents of youth soccer players, right? And how crazy they can be at times and how wild it is. And then you had at the World Cup, you had the Ranias and Berhalter and all that. And now we've got Pulisic's dad opening his mouth to respond to Landon Donovan, who had some comments, and he didn't mention Pulisic, and Pulisic I think is at the top of that list. But let's face it, there are a lot of guys not in camp from this so-called golden generation that are taking time off as well. So I don't think this was just for Pulisic, although that's the big name in it. But let's take a listen to Landon, and then we'll talk about Mark Pulisic's response.
And I can't help but think, and I said this in the beginning of the show, this is what it means to represent your country.
Correct.
This is what it means. And if you don't want to take this as a professional soccer player and someone who gets the opportunity to wear that jersey and take it seriously and responsibly, then don't come in. This is what it means. He's 40 years old. He's played a long ass season. He's tired. He's out there grinding, hurt himself in the process. And I can't help but think about some of our guys who are on vacation right now, not wanting to play in the Gold Cup. This is what it's pissing me off.
This is what
Pochettino's talking about.
Yeah, this is a culture. This is what it means to people. This is what you live for, you train for. This is what you want. I mean, look at that.
I mean, just
won
look
everything
at,
in
look
the
at
game.
the 40-year-old.
And that inspires me, inspires kids, inspires players, because that's what the game's about. That's what sport's about.
That's right.
Not taking a break because I might have a tournament in the summer. I mean, let's forget all about that. Let's talk about this game because it was.
Well, there you go. Landon Donovan not thrilled. Now, Landon took a year off at one point later in his career. So a lot of people are clapping back on him for that. But interestingly enough, let's not forget, he was then left off of the next World Cup team. Okay. Klinsman did not forget, and Landon Donovan was punished for it. And when you look at his entire career, Landon Donovan, like guys like Clint Dempsey, the national team mattered to them. It mattered to them a lot. Tim Howard was another one. They put everything into it. I would love to hear what Clint Dempsey. Well, I've heard some comments. Well, but I would love to hear him a little more directly what he thinks of all of this as well. And yeah, I mean, the Gold Cup is the last. It's the last major thing before the World Cup in 2026 played in America. And Christian Pulisic and a lot of these other guys cannot show up. And then we had Christian Pulisic's dad. Christian Pulisic's a grown man, by the way, slaps back at Landon Donovan for criticizing U.S. men's national team players for sitting out the Gold Cup, referencing the sabbatical, which is what I was just talking about. He took in his career, and Christian Pulisic also liked the post. Landon Donovan took a sabbatical because he was feeling both physically and mentally exhausted after years of intense competition and the pressure that comes with being a top athlete. He'd been playing professionally from a young age and had participated in multiple World Cups, so he felt the need to step back and take some time for himself. This break allowed him to rest, travel, and ultimately return to the game with a refreshed mindset. And as I put here, it sounds like Mark is in support of Christian being left off the 2026 World Cup team, USF. Take note. Yes, I did say let's move on from him. His international performances are not worth his diva drama. His dad apparently agrees, and considering that I like have no followers on this channel, it's that's more views than I think I've got for everything I've ever posted combined, and getting some 26 likes is more likes than anything I've ever posted. So I think there are some people who actually agree. And maybe if I had a blue check, it would be 26,000 likes. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting, and that is why I also brought up the fact that, hey, Mark, Landon Donovan was left off the next World Cup team. Is that what you're saying should happen with your son Christian? That doesn't even get into the mess again, like with Rainier and then the Berhalter nonsense at the World Cup and that drama. Why? Why? Maybe this is why this golden generation has done nothing because they're soft and entitled, and it does seem like many of them think it's just a hassle to put on their country's kit. And yeah, this is part of the reason it's messy. You've got parents who can't stay out of. Christian Pulisic is a multi-millionaire professional athlete, has played in the Premier League, is playing in Serie A right now with AC Milan. You know, there's no reason whatsoever for his dad to get into this mess and comment about what Landon Donovan said. No reason at all, I don't think. You know, Landon is doing his job as an analyst, and again, didn't mention Pulisic. And if it was only Pulisic, then you could say, oh, well, maybe mention him. But it's not just Pulisic. It's just Pulisic is the biggest name. And I just think this is a bad look. This is definitely not a good look going into the World Cup for 2026. I don't think it was a good look for Christian Pulisic to be missing the Gold Cup either. So it's really going to be interesting. Mauricio has his hands full with all of this. It's going to be interesting with the decisions that he makes with this team as well. So it definitely seems like it used to mean more to a lot of the players. You're going all the way back to, you know, uh, the '94 team, which sort of really, not that it hadn't been growing, but really kickstarted soccer more in America. Like MLS was born from that '94 Cup being in the US and so forth. And you had those guys. It's just, yeah, maybe they weren't as skilled at the time, but they had a lot of other things that American fans love. They put everything they had into it. They put their heart into it. They loved putting on that US jersey. And I just rewatched. I've seen it met so many times. I just rewatched Miracle the other day with Kurt Russell. About the obviously the '80 hockey team. Again, there's a team that absolutely wanted nothing more than to put on that United States jersey and go out and compete at the Olympics and represent their country. And you just get the feeling that a lot of these current players in the men's team, at least I feel, don't really, it doesn't matter all that much to them. And I think that a lot of them have not been pushed or had to win their spots has created a serious problem. I think for a while we saw that in the women's side too. Now they were getting results, but you definitely have, it was not as deep as because players, I think was it, oh my gosh, I can't remember who said it now. So let me know in the comments below. Was it Jill? Was it Jill Ellis that said, we don't want players that are getting 100 caps on a regular basis because we want a much deeper player pool than that. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for checking this out. Smash the like button, hit that subscribe button. It really matters for YouTube to push out these videos. It says people want to watch them, and I do appreciate that. And I will talk to you in the next video.